I'm Maurice McDavid, host of Black, Brown, and Bilingue, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hello, empowered principals. Welcome to episode 333.
Welcome to the Empowered Principal Podcast, a not-so-typical educational resource that will teach you how to gain control of your career and get emotionally fit to lead your school and your life with joy by refining your most powerful tool, your mind. Here's your host, certified life coach, Angela Kelly Robeck.
Well, hello, my empowered principals. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to episode 333. I can't believe this marks the episode of the 333rd episode of the Empowered Principal Podcast. This is amazing. And as you know, I try to seek out meaning in everything, and I create meaning that means the most to me. I make sense of the world and I make sense of everything around me to the best of my ability. And the meaning that I like to create for myself is meaning that feels good, meaning that feels empowered to me, meaning that uplifts me. So on this 333rd episode, I want to invite you into the meaning that I've created for myself, my coaching business, my clients, and really for my entire life. So for those of you who see repeated numbers as meaning, like 333, this is going to speak directly to your heart. But even if you don't think of anything about numeric repetition, this episode is still going to ring true for you. This is an invitation to living an exceptional life. Right here, right now, today. Not in some future moment in time where you think life will look and feel perfect one day out there in the future. I'm talking about living an exceptional life, being an exceptional principal right here, right now. On this Tuesday of your life, where you are today, where you live today, who you're with today, the school you lead today, the teachers that you currently have, the students you currently have, the test scores that they end up scoring for the school year, right here, right now. So the number 333 in angel numbers, for any of those of you who follow that, the number 333 represents expansion. And I believe that as we are approaching the end of the school year, it is the perfect time for reflection and expansion, to celebrate the expansion of growth that you and your staff and your students have been through this current school year, and the expansion that you look forward to in leading your school in the upcoming year. A concept that I often teach, and one that we talk about in EPC all of the time, and I even do this with my one-on-one clients, is about becoming exceptional, being an exceptional principal or district leader, living as an exceptional person, experiencing an exceptional life, loving your job, loving your school, loving your family, loving you, loving what you do, how you spend your time, where your energy goes, loving your life, being exceptional, celebrating your life, enjoying it. And the best part of experiencing an exceptional life is that it isn't about always working hard and hustling. Trust me, I've tried that theory. I have tested it for decades. Overworking, overexerting, and overscheduling, pushing yourself into exhaustion and depletion in the name of servant leadership is not what creates an exceptional result. It's not an exceptional life if you're always tired, or you're always feeling stressed out, or you're always anxious, or you're always waking up worried, or you're always a little bit nervous, or you're always feeling unsafe. If you're always in chronic fight or flight, your body's just a little bit on edge. If you're always feeling that way, that is not an exceptional life. What I'm talking about is enjoying your life to its fullest, feeling like You lived the life you wanted to live. You led the school you wanted to lead. You enjoyed the people you worked with. You loved the students that you served. You enjoyed the community that you served. You were able to work with bosses, whether or not you agree with them, are aligned to their values, or appreciate their approach. You had the skills to work with them, and you're proud of yourself, proud of who you are, how you lived, that you lived an exceptional life. Now look, I know that you can create amazing results with overworking, overexerting, overscheduling, that hustle, grind. I know you can do that. How do I know? I've done it. That's why it's so addicting. I lived that way for years, and still I get tempted to get sucked back in from time to time because there is a thrill to working and grinding and then earning that and like putting in all those hours and all that effort and energy and being able to hammer out a result. I get it. It feels good. It works. There's a dopamine hit associated to it. And there's nothing wrong with living your life. If you love the hustle and you love the grind and you love your life and you feel exceptional because that approach works for you, then go for it. Keep going. Keep running, my sister, my friend. I'm cheering you on. However, for many of us, at least for me, there were areas of my life that worked. Like I was a long distance runner for decades. I loved it. It felt great. I pushed myself physically really hard. I loved it. When I was a teacher, I put in lots of hours. I loved it. When I became a school principal, there seemed to be no amount of working or scheduling or being time efficient or effective. There seemed to be nothing that felt good enough, that felt accomplished enough, that felt fast enough, that felt big enough, that felt in service enough. I just never felt like I was enough. And I realized there was a moment I'm like, I'm going to live a very unacceptable life if I keep hammering with this approach. I have to seek out a new approach. There is a huge rush that comes with that lifestyle. As long as it works for you, that's amazing. And it does work to an extent. But it also only works if it feels good. That's how you know it's working. If it feels good to you, the approach you're taking in leadership and in life, if it's working for you, that's amazing. But if it doesn't feel exceptional, if you're not waking up, happy to be alive, ready to jump out of bed, excited to get up for the day, whether that's a Monday or a Saturday, there is room for expansion to live a more exceptional life, to be a more exceptional leader, to live a more exceptional experience. Because being exceptional isn't as much about what you do or say. It's more about how you feel and how those around you feel about themselves while they're following your lead. Your feelings are your compass to being exceptional, living exceptional, and feeling exceptional. Being exceptional, living an exceptional life is all about the emotion driving it, the fueling it, how you feel about yourself. And that's determined by how you think about yourself. Embracing the concept of exceptionalism. You need to embrace that you, right here, right now, have the capacity to identify as exceptional, not by somebody else's definition or standards, by your own standards. This means allowing yourself to identify as exceptional. Do you even feel qualified to call yourself exceptional? Or do you dismiss yourself? Do you dismiss your efforts, your accomplishments? Or do you say, no, I'm pretty exceptional? The fact that you're in school leadership, I think point blank makes you exceptional. Do you know how many millions of people on the planet would never be able to handle the job you're handling? You already are exceptional. You have to allow it. You have to identify as exceptional before being exceptional feels good and comes into your life. Now, I've heard people say that not everyone is destined for greatness. Some are granted an exceptional life. They're the lucky ones. They were gifted. They were blessed. And then others just simply aren't. I challenge that belief. I disagree with it. I don't believe that it's true because the thought doesn't feel good to think that some people get it and some people don't. It pains me to have the thought like some babies are born into the world and they never stand a chance from birth. I don't think that's how the world was designed. I choose to believe because it feels good for me that all lives are exceptional, that we already come with being exceptional. We have the capacity and the potential to expand our ability to feel exceptional and to live exceptional lives and to take action from the fuel of feeling exceptional in our lives. Because in my definition, in my book, my Webster's Dictionary, exceptional lives come in limitless forms. Exceptional is not one way of living. Just because if you're here and you're a white male and you live in the United States and you're very wealthy and you have a lot of power, that might be identified as being an exceptional human. That does not make you an exceptional human, FYI. Now, if you are one of those humans and you happen to be exceptional, we love you. We love all the humans, but title, status are not definitions of exceptional. It's not defined by the awards you're granted or the length of your resume or the size of your home or the number of cars you drive. It's not the test scores that your district receives or your school receives. It's not your students. It's not your staff. It's not the accolade you get from your boss. It is not your title. It's not your status. It's not your location. It's not a position of authority. It's none of those things. We identify people who are exceptional because they're wealthy or because they're rich and famous or because they've contributed to the world in some massive way. But think about your own family. Think about your great-grandparents who did exceptional things, who went through exceptional times, who created the life that you have now, who laid the foundation, that paved the road for you to have this life that you have. They are exceptional. Whether they're in the history books or not, they were exceptional. Your parents, who did the best they could, regardless of the relationship you have with your parents, they did an exceptional job. How do we know? You are here on the planet today, serving in the capacity that you want to. Exceptionalism isn't a birthright that you either are chosen or not chosen. You choose you. You choose to be exceptional. Being exceptional is really about embracing exceptional thoughts about yourself, about the work you do, about your accomplishments, being proud of them, calling them exceptional, having exceptional thoughts about other people. Your teachers, your staff, your students, your own children, your partner, your spouse, your family, the community you live in, the community you serve, your school, your campus, the culture, your test scores, exceptional thoughts about your life, your body, your friends, everything about you, your home, your being, your existence. It's about cultivating exceptional thoughts about you, looking for what is already exceptional about you in your life is the key. You're living in gratitude in the current present moment. You're grateful for the things that you want, that you already have in your life. One of the activities I have my clients do is I say, tell me everything that you want. They'll list, I want. And I'll say, of the items you listed, how many of them do you already have? And that stops them in their tracks because one of two things happen. The list either is a list of things that they actually already have in their life and they just forgot to acknowledge that and be appreciative and grateful, or they listed everything they don't have, which means they're focusing on what they don't have versus all that they do. So try that. Notice you have an exceptional life. You have electricity and running water. You have heated running water that comes right to your faucet, into your shower. You have clean drinking water. You have a very comfortable bed to sleep in. You have heat. You have shelter. You have clothing. You have food available. So much food available in the United States. We have so much that we want. Someone takes your internet away for an hour. Someone takes your phone away for 5 minutes. You're grateful to have that phone back. You live an exceptional life. See it. Acknowledge it. Embrace it. Live it, be it. You want to notice What is going so well? What makes life so easy right now? Internet is one of my favorites. When I moved very recently, and I'll share that story at another time, I've had a huge chapter shift in my life that I'll share with you guys at a later time. But when we moved into our new place, we didn't have internet for almost a week. And I was like, wow, I had my phone, 5G on my phone, but I cannot run my business without internet. I need internet access. It became highly appreciative when they came and installed our internet. I loved it. And I'm so grateful for it. And I don't want to forget that I have it and that it's an exceptional part of my life. That is the power of being exceptional, living an exceptional life. When you live and breathe exceptionalism into your life right now, your brain is going to start to redirect itself to collecting more and more evidence of all the things that feel as though, in fact, you are an exceptional human, an exceptional being, an exceptional leader. And here's why this works. What you focus on expands in both directions. So if you wake up and you're like, oh, it's raining. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have to deal with this parent today. Oh, I don't want to have to do testing. You're focusing on what isn't working, what you don't like about the day, what you don't like about yourself, what you don't like about how your clothing fits, what you don't like about your car, what you don't like about the commute. And you get to work and you're kind of disgruntled about the day ahead of you. And then you're thinking about that parent you got to talk to and that teacher you have to let go. And you're feeling very unaccomplished. It's the end of the year. What did we even get done? Nothing seems to be working. I'm scared about the test scores. And then my, boss gave me some negative feedback. What you focus on expands in your life, both positive and negative. You know how when you wake up and you're in a bad mood, like the rest of the day, it's almost like your brain just decides, okay, we decided to have a bad day. Let's focus on everything that went wrong today. And then we go home and we tell this horrible day, like we had such a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, right? That's what also works in the exceptional direction. What is exceptional in my life? How am I exceptional? What is working? What's going well? What do I love about my life? What do I love about my job? What do I love about today? What am I so grateful for that I have? I haven't even taken a moment to realize it. Wow. Clean sheets, fresh bed, having, laundry facilities in my home where I can launder my clothing at any time. Some people have to truck their laundry to a laundromat or to the river. Think about this. We have exceptional lives. But I know the human brain. I've been studying it for decades, and here's what I have found to be so challenging about focusing on what's already exceptional. There's two things that I've noticed. One, the brain is wired to problem solve. It kind of goes to the next problem. It just jumps from one problem, it solves it, then it jumps to another problem, and then it solves it. It loves to solve problems because we get the dopamine hit. It's such a pleasurable feeling to have solved a problem, right? It's like a to-do list. When we get to check the boxes, it feels really good. When we solve a problem, we get to put closure on it. That feels really good. But guess what? Once that feeling dies down of satisfaction, we got to find another problem. So then we live a life stringing problem to problem to problem to try and solve them. If we can't, we feel disappointed and disgruntled and discouraged, and we jump on to the next thing, right? So the brain is wired for that. So we have to be aware of that. We have to create awareness around that and be intentional about what we're focusing on, giving at least equal airtime to what is working and being in the gratitude of that along with problem solving. Okay, so that's problem number one. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is that we have been conditioned that it is not socially acceptable to focus on being exceptional, especially women. We're told to be humble, to be graceful, not to seek the spotlight. We should be a servant leader. We should eat last. We should take care of others. We should put ourselves at the very end of the line. Men have less problem shining the spotlight on themselves, owning their exceptionalness, feeling exceptional. They love it. Not all of you men. I know I'm not picking on you, but there is a mindset, particularly with women, that we should not so dare as to say how exceptional we are. And actually, when we do, you've seen it on social media. Women who are confident, women who believe that they are exceptional, women who are successful, living abundant, successful, innovative, really engaged, rich, delicious, expansive lives. When they're online, people hate on them. They have to tear them down. And then those women have to go through the process of coaching or therapy or whatever level of support they need to be reminded of their exceptionalism. The more exceptional you get, the more people that hate on you. And the only people who are hating are people who aren't focusing on their own exceptional lives and creating their own exceptional lives. So the fact that you're a school leader out there being exceptional, you're going to have teachers and parents who want to cut you down. Not because you're not exceptional, but because they're not focused on their own exceptionalism. Do you see the difference? But I want to say something. When you think about these two obstacles, where the brain likes to solve problems, that's amazing. I mean, we're innovative creatures designed to evolve and expand and grow and learn and develop. That's working on point. So when our brain is focusing on problems, that isn't a problem. We just also want to be grateful and aware and create this balance, this equal airtime of problem solving with also focusing on the amazingness of what's already been solved for us. Electricity has been solved for. Amen. We don't have to solve that problem, right? Technology, there's so much with technology that has been solved by somebody else. Thank you, thank you. There have been roads, airplanes, cars, trains. Our lives have been made exceptional. They have been so enhanced by other people problem solving, our ancestors before us. The Industrial Revolution, all of those chapters have been created so that we can live exceptional lives. We want to honor that. Honor the ingenuity and the innovation that occurred decades and centuries ago to allow us the privilege of living in this exceptional life, this exceptional time right here, right now. And equally so, it's also fun and our choice, if we want to contribute to the exceptional lives we want our children to lead and their children to lead. So we're paving the way for the future as the past paved the way for us, but we don't want to deny and dismiss and not celebrate the exceptional that is in you, in the people you lead, in your students, in your school, in your bosses, in the community, in your life. It doesn't make sense to focus on and to believe that we should not focus on exceptionalism. So if you've been taught, and I'm sure if I were to do a poll, you would mostly all raise your hand, who's been told, right? To be humble, to be grateful, to be small, to not overshine, to not make someone feel bad, to not brag, to not boast, to not be your biggest, boldest, brightest self. If you've ever been taught to kind of shine, turn down the light, turn down the volume, play small, talk small, think small, be small, don't be seen, don't be heard. If you were ever conditioned around that, I thought to myself, why? Why on earth would we tell the little humans to not be exceptional, to not embrace their exceptionalism, their exceptional selves, and the gifts they were given to be exceptional? And the reason that exceptionalism has no limit is because we need all of the different kinds of talents and skills and exceptional beings on the planet to make the full planet work for the humans. It's the universal balance that we're creating. So that is why there are people who were born to teach kindergarten and who love it. That was me, loved the littles. I loved kindergarten so much, you guys. I literally was born to teach kindergarten. And there are other people who were born to teach 5th grade or 7th grade or 12th grade. I have one of my friends who was a 5th grade teacher. She moved down to 2nd grade for 1 year just to try it out. And she was like, nope, not for me. Going back to the big kids, which is funny because now when I think about big kids, I don't think of 5th grade as the big kids, but they are older, a little more mature than definitely K through 2. But we're all born with exceptional talents. And it's our job to get on the right seat on the bus, to feel exceptional, to be exceptional, to live that exceptional life. You know how good it feels when you feel good about your life? You're like, I was born for this. I was born to be a kindergarten teacher. I am a kindergarten teacher. I'm an exceptional teacher. The parents love me. The kids love me. My classroom's amazing. Like that flow, that is exceptionalism. You don't have to be a bazillionaire to be exceptional. You don't have to fix planet Earth. You don't have to have invented the light bulb. You don't have to have made plastic, invented something crazy, or invented flight to be exceptional. You're exceptional when you're in your zone, when you're just doing you, when you're doing your thing, when you're in flow. So when I say that focusing on what's already exceptional in your life, my clients will say, hey, I wonder if I'm even supposed to want more. If I'm already exceptional now, what's the point of development, growth, evolution, evolvement? Why do I continue to desire things or want things that I don't yet have? Is that wrong? And here's what I love about this question. The answer is you were born to create, to grow, to develop, to evolve. You were born to have desires. You will have desires and wants that are unmet all the way up until your last day on earth, because that's how we evolve. That's how we grow. That's how we continue to experience an exceptional life. Because once we've achieved this, we want something more. And that's not a problem. That's the sign that you're on the path to more exceptionalness. It's why we were drawn to education, right? Everybody was drawn to create the exceptionalism on this planet that they were born to create. And for us, it's education. It's why we were drawn into education. It's literally one of the initial core founding institutions that humans developed to evolve humankind. That's why we're in schools, right? So I invite you to live an exceptional life, to identify as an exceptional leader, to identify your life as exceptional, and to focus on all that is amazing in your life. You are an exceptional leader. You are leading your school to exceptional results. It's all about grounding yourself in the belief that you're already exceptional, and at the same time, that you also have the capacity and potential to continue expanding the experience of being exceptional. Becoming exceptional and living as though you are already exceptional is about your willingness to embrace it as is, see it for what it is now, and also be willing to explore and expand and evolve. Go beyond your years in school. Learn more than just what is right in front of you. Question, challenge thoughts and beliefs that people told you to think way back when you were children or young adults. Are they true? Here's how you know. If the thought feels good, it's working for you, it's true. If a thought doesn't feel good, if it brings up negative energy, negative emotion, it's not true for you. You get to learn and explore and innovate and create and have fun and be happy. Be curious, be joyful. There is no bonus prize for suffering your way through school leadership. You are not going to get a pin, 25 years of suffering in education. You're not going to win an award for burnout and exhaustion. There's no payout at the end for overworking. You don't get a bonus at the end of your career because you overworked. I really want you to let that sink in. Think about that. Also think about this. People want to be led by someone who not only sees the amazingness within themselves, but who also sees the amazingness within them. Think about it. Think about how good it feels for you to have a leader who sees your empowerment and your potential, who believes that you're capable, that you're smart, that you're worthy, that you're skilled. Somebody who trusts in you to do your job, who loves their job and they're happy to be around, they're fun to be around, they are fulfilled. They don't need you to be some version of you that you're not for them to feel like they're a good leader. They already feel exceptional as a leader, and they see the exceptionalism in you. They see your greatness. They believe in your greatness. They trust it. They let you go be great. That's the kind of leader who uplifts, who inspires people, invites them into the best version of them. And if you want to be that leader, all you need to do is simply embrace your exceptionalism, your greatness, your potential. Delight in who you are as a leader, the skills that you have. Be joyful, be curious, be lighthearted, be fun, be funny. Don't take everything so seriously. Yes, you're going to have bad days. That doesn't have to define or take away your identity as an exceptional leader. Exceptional leaders have exceptionally hard days, but they also have exceptionally good days. So if your mind tends to focus on the negative, like it wakes up and you're like, why am I always so negative? Like mine, then your brain is totally normal. You are right on track because everybody out there, all those principals who are happy, they also have negative thoughts. So your brain is right on track. It's doing its normal thing. That is why I created EPC, the Empowered Principal Collaborative. I created it because our brains default to the negative, because our brain offers us grumpy thoughts, because we're looking at what's not working. It's default, and we've been conditioned. So we've got double layers working against our exceptionalism. So EPC is a space that I created where we can all redirect our brains together, making it easier to refocus on being exceptional. You know, when you're around people that feel good, you just feel so much better about yourself. That's what EPC is. We all just feel better because we're together and we're talking about this. We're like, I had a really tough day, but I want to end my day focusing on what's exceptional about my life and what I did right and what's going well at my school. It's so much easier to do that when you're surrounded by other people who are doing it as well and who lift you up to feel good about yourself and the work that you're doing. So, as you go off into the week, I invite you to reflect on this past year. How was it exceptional? How were you exceptional? And I'm going to invite you to join EPC this coming school year to plan out and create an even more exceptional year this coming fall. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go be exceptional. Have an amazing week, you guys. I will talk to y'all next week. Take really good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, Empowered Principal. If you enjoy the content in this podcast, I invite you to join the Empowered Principal Collaborative. It's my latest offer for aspiring and current school leaders who want to experience exceptional impact and enjoy the school leadership experience. Look, you don't have to overwork and overexert to be a successful school leader. You'll be mentored weekly and surrounded by supportive, like-minded colleagues who truly understand what it means to be a school leader. So join us today and become a member of the only certified life and leadership coaching program for school leaders in the country. Just head on over to angelakellycoaching.com/work-with-me to learn more and join. I'll see you inside of the Empowered Principal Collaborative.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Empowered Principal Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more, please visit angelakellycoaching.com, where you can sign up for weekly updates and learn more about the tools that will help you become an emotionally fit school leader.